Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on Movies. The only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again. And if you're wondering why I'm so I don't know. This is gonna be a movie a movie review of sorts. I don't know really if it's gonna be an actual movie review. And no, I am not drunk. I am just so I don't know. I mean, I went to sleep last night. I woke up this morning. I decided, hey, I'm gonna do a movie review today. It's going to be a movie that I want to do, and I watched it, and yet I feel like I didn't actually wake up this morning, because what was this movie that I just watched? What is this movie? Why is this movie? Where is this movie? Okay, the movie that I'm going to be talking about is called L for Leisure. Now, I had a very specific reason for watching this movie, which I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give it away, because actually, even if I gave it away, it wouldn't even, be even a part of the review, basically, because this person is only in it for, I don't even know, she's in it for, 5 minutes or something. This movie... It's a movie about people who are in college and they are going on vacations with each other in Europe and stuff, and they just do stuff. See, if you look at the summary too, they have their favorite activity: talking endlessly, vacation-filled days filled with sun-drenched naps, squabbling, water skiing, lovemaking, all these things, and it's okay, well, what's the plot, though? And it's well, that's the twist, is that there is no plot. That's why the movie's called L for Leisure, because there is no plot. You sucker who rented this movie for $3, that's what I did. There is no plot. It's just stuff. And it's stuff that's presented in a way where it's it's dreamy, and it even says a dreamy, ironic comedy. I guess it's ironic. I don't really know what that really... I mean, it's ironic? What's ironic about it? The fact that it doesn't have a plot, but it's a movie? The fact that it's only an hour and 13 minutes, and so it's kind of It's kind of not even a typical running time of a movie nowadays, but a movie of the 20s or 30s. So I'm gonna get into this movie. I'm gonna try to go through it. I'm gonna try to talk about it. I know that this review has already turned some people off, but believe me, it's only what would you say? It's indicative of the movie itself. Because when I see a good movie or show, or even a really bad movie or show, I'm able to go on and talk about it ad nauseum and go into an extensive dialogue. But when it's something like this, or 1969, it's what happens? This is what happens. And actually, if you want to have a good double feature where you just get drunk or get high and you want to watch movies where nothing happens, then get 1969 and get L for Leisure and have fun. Have a party. Because that's exactly what happens in this movie. Nothing. It opens up. Stuff happens. The only existence of a plot is at some points the characters are like, oh, well, maybe we should do this. Or maybe we should do that. Maybe we should go water ski. Maybe we should take all this nutmeg that we have, this extra nutmeg, and maybe we should smoke it like Malcolm X did. Maybe we should go drive somewhere else. Maybe we should get mustard with our food. Maybe we should put our pants on today. Maybe we should stop sniffing our own farts. Oh no, let's just keep doing that, because that's this fucking movie. That's exactly what this movie is. This movie. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. It's gonna be a real story, not like the story in this movie where, and I get it. You know, there's room for art movies. There's room for movies that are experimentative and such. But let's just say this, okay? When I was trying to make I've Been Bitten, and I was trying to cast these characters, I met someone from Italy. I'm not going to say her name. And, you know, she really loved the script, and she was going to be involved with the movie, but then she ended up not being involved because she was another fraud. And she always did this thing where she had this YouTube channel where she would, like, post these, like, vlogs, and she would take her camera. She'd have, like, a 16 millimeter camera or something like that, and she'd take it out in public and just videotape, like, random little things, like random little moments of her life, and just put it all together with music and put, like, a retro filter over it, and she would say, like, this is my day. It was so, like, meaningless, you know, like, it was basically like the equivalent of drinking LaCroix. Like, you know, LaCroix hardly has any flavor, but it still can be good sometimes. And her videos, like, and it would always start off with, like, and you know the most pretentious sounding sound that all the pretentious artsy-fartsy people like to use? I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds to guess. What is the most pretentious sound of the modern age? Once you hear this sound, turn it off. Shut it off. Protect yourself from this shit. Watch something good. Watch a movie. Watch Citizen Kane. Watch Ghostbusters. Watch Screwballs. Porky's. Animal House. I Spit on Your Grave. I know that's a random assortment, but okay, the most pretentious sound. Once you hear this sound, turn it off. The most pretentious sound in a movie is a record player that's not playing anything. You know, like where it's like that fuzzy noise, like, you know, like when you or it's like the end of a record, or it's like the beginning of a record, you know, it sounds like. You know what else that sounds like too? And like so every video that she would make would start off with that, and then it would play this like song like, and it would say like, my day. And then you'd see like just these random ass shots of people, these random shots that don't connect or make any sense. And they just have a retro filter on top of them. And then all of a sudden, you got more music. And then it would end. Yay! Not. I mean, what is up with people? What is going on? There's a part of movie making, there's a big part of movie making that is missing. It is missing from nowadays. You know what part that is? Storytelling. The art of telling a story. The art of having a beginning, a middle, and an end. and you write it in a script, or you write it on, I don't care what you write it on. You write it on a piece of toilet paper, you write it on something, you write it on your own skin. But you better have a script and you better have a story. And this movie that I'm talking about right here does not have either of those things. I don't know what it has. It has a promotion to retro filters on editing apps. It has music, I guess. It just... What is this movie? What is this movie, guys? Like, I'm reading all these reviews, people saying, like, utterly original. And it's like, yeah, it's original because it's just a bunch of random shit. I could take a picture right now of my ding-dong and post it on this review, and that would be utterly original too, wouldn't it? It'd be really shocking too. It'd be really controversial. It'd be really artsy. It'd be really, really artsy if you get my picture. I don't know. This movie, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I hate it when I watch a movie. I spend like an hour, 2 hours watching a movie, and there's nothing to say. It's just like silence. It's just like cricket, cricket, cricket. And like, let's go, like... And it's so strange too, because I was like, did that person that I knew, did she make this movie? And I just didn't know that she finally actually did something with her filmmaking supposed dreams. And it's like, oh no, it's these two random people who I never heard of before. And like, props to them for making a movie, no matter what quality it is. And so the movie, it's random vacations. It's like they go on vacations, they talk about things. There's this one part where they talk about underwear and boxers. There's this one part where they talk about... What do they even talk about in the movie? Like, I can't even remember what they talked about, because once nothing happens in a movie, or once, like, I'm disinterested, I just completely zone out, and I'm not even, like, into what I'm watching. Now, on the bright side, I didn't fall asleep. And I was really surprised that I didn't fall asleep, because I get bored, and movies that bore me, those are even worse than the bad movies that I watch, because at least the bad movies that I watch, they keep me awake and they keep me alert, so that afterwards I can shit all over them.
But the 90s nostalgia works in a different way too.
This movie, it didn't do neither of those things. It just made me like, feel like I'm dreaming, feel like I'm asleep. Like, what the hell is happening? That's the thing, too. Like, you can make a movie where nothing happens, and still it can be really, really good. I've had tons of great dreams. I've had tons of interesting ones. And if I took, like, 10 of my dreams and filmed them and put them into a movie, it would be so much more entertaining than this movie right here. And I just feel like the people who made this movie, they were either trying to experiment or they were trying to do something like artsy and clever. And you can still do that while also telling like a story. And I just didn't get any story here at all. I really tried to like get into this movie, you know, especially because of the whole reason that I watched it in the first place, but I just couldn't. There were a couple of things that I liked. I liked the music. The movie had very good music. It was not the bad music like in that girl's YouTube videos where it would just be like... You know, it was not like pretentious, artsy bullshit music like that comes out of a fucking... I don't know, like, just comes out of shit. Like, how does music come out of shit? Well, it just comes out of it, and it gets onto that girl's YouTube videos. Okay, because, like, I swear, like, those vlogs are some of the worst things that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen some shit. I've seen some shit that you guys wouldn't even want to hear about. I've seen the worst of the worst. I have seen the worst movies, the worst shows, and nothing compares to having to suffer through those artsy bullshit vlogs. They're like 3 to 5 minutes a piece. 3 to 5 minutes in hell, that's for sure. But the music in this movie, however, it was actually really, really good. And I felt like if you put this music on a good movie, like let's say that you took clips from American Psycho, and you took the music out that they originally put in that movie, sorry guys, and then you placed over the top the music from this movie, I feel like it would be really, really good, because the music is really, really good. Like, they really did a great job with the music. I mean, the whole movie was basically like a music video. And there's this weird ending, too, where, like, there's this guy, he's sitting on a beach with his dog, and he does, like, a monologue, and there's music, and they just show random clips of the beach, and it just felt like a music video. And then I would also say that they really got the 90s aesthetic down. They got it down really well, and they did a good job at, like, authentically portraying the 90s and making, like, a quote-unquote 90s movie. Just the problem is that there was one missing ingredient, and that was story. That was this movie's downfall. And I wish that the people who made the movie, I wish that they would make like a real movie, you know, where there's a story and there's characters. You know, there are characters in this movie. Like, there's person A, person B, person C, and person D. No, but I mean like characters. Like Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer, Salma Hayek, Pencilhead McGee. I don't know, like, you know, come up with a character. Let's make a movie. Let's make a movie right now. Okay? Characters. So let's have a guy character. He's got a pencil head, and he's just like, he's a total douchebag, and he's a real, like, corporate kiss-ass fuckwad. And then you have a woman. She's a strong, independent woman. She's Latina. She's got she's thick, but she's also cool. And you take these two characters and let's put them in a setting. Okay, let's put them, New York, a cafe. They are in a cafe in New York talking to each other about something that's like a subject. Did you steal the diamond last night? I don't know. I forgot to. Oh shit. Our whole heist got screwed up. What are we gonna do? Movie. I just made a movie right there. Go write the movie. Just write a movie. Make a movie. Don't do this where you're just like, just people sit around talking for some time. And then just like they kiss each other. They like do dares and stuff where they're like, hey, take your shirt off, man. Oh, hey, take your shirt off, man. Oh, hey, why don't you two guys make out? Yeah? It's like, don't do that. Like, that's the... Like, and you know the funniest thing in this movie was, this was the only note that I took for the entire movie. There was this one character, and I can't remember her name, because she wasn't really a character. She was just a person, a character F, as in character who gets fucked all the time, I guess. Well, there's this part where she's like lying down was it a bench? I can't even remember what she was lying down on. But she was lying down, and she was pretending like she was asleep. And all the characters in the house knew what she was doing. Apparently, she's a character who likes to pretend that she's sleeping so that guys will get interested enough to go up to her and start touching her in her sleep and do other stuff with her. Like, does that make any sense at all? So I guess she's got like a fantasy of some kind that she's asleep and a guy walks up and takes advantage of her and she doesn't even care which guy it is. You know, she could wake up and she's got fucking Ted Bundy on top of her and, you know, she'd have to deal with it. What is that? Like, why is like, just have this random female character and she likes to sleep and pretend that she's asleep so that guys can come up and take advantage of her. Like, what the hell is that? Like, and so there was kind of a point that this movie wanted to make, I guess, of just like college students living the college life, and I guess that was the point of the movie. And you can still make that point while also telling a story. You know, that's what movies were made for. They were made to tell stories. And this movie has a very loose interpretation of what story means. Because the whole movie, it's just like, okay, vacation 1, vacation 2, vacation 3, vacation 4, and I just didn't care. And I'm really tired now, too, after watching this movie. So, you know, maybe I hope that American Horror Story isn't boring because I have to watch that. And so, you know, because if that's boring, I'm definitely taking a nap while watching that. And actually, I did watch the first episode, you know, of American Horror Story 1984. And that would be a good example for these people to watch. And now, I haven't seen the whole season, so I don't know if it's great yet, but it has the 80s aesthetic. And at the same time, it's telling a story with characters. Yes, it is just kind of going through the motions of any slasher movie from the 80s. Yes, it is largely relying on nostalgia. Yes, it does feel desperate that after the shit show of Apocalypse, that they're pandering to the 80s crowd of like, everyone loves the 80s, just make something in the 80s and it'll be good. But at the same time, at least they're telling a story that has a beginning, a middle, and end. Or at least possibly has a middle and end. I don't really know yet because I haven't seen it. So that would be a good example to like put up against this movie. So yeah, this is another one of those movies where nothing happens and it's just kind of like a... And my food review, I already told my food review at the beginning of this movie review, kind of indirectly. I mentioned it, and then I didn't also say it was my food review because you guys would have probably turned it off and said, oh, well, now I know your review and I'm turning it off. I give this movie Coconut LaCroix. Now, LaCroix, it can be okay. You know, I've had some good LaCroix flavors. I pretty much always prefer it if it's ice cold and if I have it like right after taking a hike or something like that. You know, to refresh myself. Even though I drink water the whole time on the hike. If it's a long hike, I'll run out of water. Because there's only so much water in a 700 milliliter bottle, you know. So you could come home and have a nice, cold, refreshing LaCroix. And this movie's not the worst movie in the world, okay? It's not a terrible movie, and I know that this review was very negative towards it. It's just that it had potential to be something that, you know, even though they didn't really have a lot of money because this was like these people's first movie and everything, they still could have tried to tell like a good story and tried to have characters and everything, and instead it's just one of those movies where nothing happens And LaCroix is one of those drinks where there's hardly any flavor at all. It's just like flavored water with it's just water with a little hint of flavor. Like a little hint of coconut, a little hint of cherry or lime or orange. And I prefer to have the lime drink with the full flavor. You know, like let's say G Fuel. G Fuel is very flavorful. That just gave me an idea. I'm gonna drink some G Fuel because I have a lot left of this shitty flavor that I want to get rid of. But like G Fuel has a lot of flavor, and although it might not be the best, it's a lot better than like LaCroix. You drink it and you just feel like you drank nothing. You feel like you drink air. Nobody wants to drink air. So anyways, please like this video. It was a big mess. And comment and tell me what you think of movies like this. Do you like movies that are very, 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 very pretentious and weird? If so, you're going to love this movie and have fun with it. And then please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more honest reviews like this, because you'll get nothing but honesty on this channel. And some people like that and some people don't. And yeah, so goodbye everybody. See you soon.